because it is so fucking horrible.
All right.
Black balls.
All right.
So there's a truck driver driving, and he's got a shipment of black bowling balls he's got to deliver to the local bowling alley. He's driving down this hill about to reach his destination when he sees a stop sign at the bottom of the hill. So he's like, oh, okay, time to brake. So he goes to press the brakes. And he goes to press the brakes again. Nothing happens. So he's like, fuck! So he's trying to press the brakes, hoping that maybe the pumping it, something will stop it. But nothing happens. So he's speeding down this fucking hill, and he starts swerving left and right, left and right, and left and right, until finally he crashes into a tree at the bottom of the hill next to the stop sign. During the crash, all the black bowling balls come flying out of the back of the truck, okay, and they scatter all across the street. Meanwhile, across the street in the 7-Eleven, there's an Arab guy who sees the entire accident happen, okay? And he's like, holy fuck! So he runs into the back, grabs a sledgehammer, and comes into the fucking middle of the street where the crash has happened, and he starts cracking the shit out of the black bowling balls, okay? And he's sitting there, he's cracking and cracking, just, insane. Meanwhile, the truck driver, gets out, he's bleeding from his head a little bit dazed from the crash, and he gets out and he's like, stumbling, he's like, oh, God, man, what the fuck are you doing to my shipment? And the guy says, sorry, man, got to crack them niggers before they hatch. Oh, like I said, I feel terrible telling that fucking joke. I feel terrible. So there's this nun, okay? Her entire life she's been devoted to God. She's never done anything bad. She's getting into her old age, and she finally dies, okay? And she goes to the gates of heaven and sees St. Peter. She's like, St. Peter, she goes to St. Peter, and St. Peter says, you have been very good your entire life. She's like, I can't believe I'm dead. I can't do the accents because I'm drunk. I can't believe I'm dead. What has happened, And so he's like, well, you died of old age. You lived a very lovely life. You did nothing but give to people. You really showed what God's love was all about. Because of that, we're going to give you a second chance on earth, and we're going to let you come back as anybody you want to. She says, oh, really? I can't, you're going to let me come back whoever I want to be? And St. Peter says yes, because you've led such a lovely life, and you've been so good in the eyes of God, we're going to let you be whoever you want to be. So he's like, who do you want to be? She says, let me think about this a second. So she sits there, and she goes, Sarah Pipolini. St. Peter goes, Sarah Pipolini? Who's Sarah Pipolini? So he starts looking through his book. I can't find anything Sarah Pipolini. She's like, who is Sarah Pipolini? She goes, oh, Sarah Pipolini, very, very, very famous, well-known, great, person, all this stuff. And he's like, I can't find Sarah Pipolini. Who? Somebody else maybe you want to come back as? I don't know, Goldie Hawn or something, Reese Witherspoon, some famous actress. Who do you want to come back as? With all that money you can donate and help people. She's like, no, Sarah Pipolini. I want to be Sarah Pipolini. He goes, okay, well, let me look through the books again, And he looks through the books and nothing. He's like, all right, let me go talk to Jesus, So he goes talk to Jesus. He's like, have you ever heard of Sarah Pipolini? No, man, I ain't heard of Sarah Pipolini. I don't know who the hell that is. He's talking on the phone. So he's like, all right, So he goes back to the nun and says, nobody knows who Sarah Pipolini is. She goes, oh, go check elsewhere. Maybe God knows, So he goes, all right. So he goes check with God. He's like, do you know who Sarah Pipolini is? And God's like, no, I don't know. Who the fuck is Sarah Pipolini?
Exactly what God was
I deny any knowledge of that woman.
I've never made anybody named Sarah Pipolini. What are you talking about? I said, okay, goes back to the nun. Man, there's nobody named Sarah Pipolini. I don't know what you're talking about. She's like, very famous, he's like, well, ma'am, you were so good. You never once had intercourse, you never did anything evil. You never even masturbated, Just choose somebody that you want to come back as. She's like, I told you, Sarah Pipolini. All right. She's like, check with somebody else, maybe the Holy Spirit or something, Okay, so goes to the Holy Ghost. He's like, do you know Sarah Pipolini? It's like, no, I don't know Sarah Pipolini. Sarah Pipolini? What are you talking about? I don't know what she's talking. She's crazy. Goes back and says, ma'am, Sarah Pipolini, nobody knows who they are. Can you maybe show me something? She's like, I have newspaper clippings. Sarah Pipolini. Sarah Pipolini. Sarah Pipolini. made by 1,000 animals. I want to come back as her.
All right, the doctor is going to tell us the only joke he knows.
No, seriously, it's the only joke I know. All right, Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse are in divorce court. It's not looking good. It's actually looking like a really ugly divorce. The judge is looking over the paperwork. And the judge looks at Mickey and says, sir, I can't go on with these proceedings because I'm not really sure if I can grant a divorce because you think your wife has been silly. And Mickey looks at the judge and says, no, Your Honor, I'm sorry, you misunderstood. I didn't say Minnie was silly. I said she was fucking goofy.
There's an outdoor performance of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, and after the first half of the symphony, they pause for intermission. It's a really windy night, and the music just keeps blowing right off the stands. So during intermission, most of the musicians decide to tie the scores of music down to the stands. But the bassists, they all go off and get some beers. So when the conductor gets back after intermission, he is very disappointed to find that at the bottom half of the ninth, that the scores are tied and the bass is loaded.
What?
I got it. Try. All right, when you try.
Okay, so there's these three Jewish women sitting around playing pan or mahjong or whatever the fuck old people play.
Whatever the fuck old people. Those old fuckers, they shouldn't be old.
They're playing Risk.
That is awesome.
Risk is awesome.
Bridge. They're playing bridge, goddammit.
Bridge, pan, mahjong, whatever the fuck.
Probably mahjong if they're Jewish.
Yeah, bam. You know. Okay. So anyway,
I swear to God, they play mahjong if they're Jewish and old.
actually, my family played a lot of pan, so you know. Anyway. So
My YouTube account is going to get so many hits after tonight.
It's because everybody loves the Jews. We are great people. Anyway,
Yes.
we will always feed you.
Dude, Phoenix, did you know she was Jewish?
Can't you tell by the nose? Come on. Come on. The nose and the love of money, it's... Okay, anyway. Alright, so there's three Jewish women sitting around playing pan, mahjong, what have you. And one of them says, Oi, I had the best week ever.
Oy vey.
Oi, you know, yeah. And she's like, what happened? You know, what? She says, you know, I was putting my daughter's underwear away in her drawer. And I found a pack of cigarettes. Ooh, oh no, a pack of cigarettes. Everyone's like, oi, that's a shot on the neighbors. That's terrible, God forbid. Okay. So the second one says, I had a worse week than both of you. I say, okay, what happened? She says, well, I was also putting my daughter's underwear away. And I found a bottle of vodka. Oh, no, oi, that's a shot on the neighbors, God forbid. Oh, knock on wood, you know. So, like, the third one says, well, I can top all of you. I had the worst week. And I'm like, what happened? She says, well, I was also putting my daughter's underwear away in her drawer. And I found condoms. And they said, oh, God. Oh, my God, that's terrible. GD shame.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's a GD shame. It's a shot on the neighbors. She goes, I know. I didn't know my daughter had a penis either.
Very good, very good.
It was circumcised.
Right, okay. So, three guys are sitting in a bar. And they're all really proud of themselves. They're like high-fiving each other. They're sitting there, they're drinking and everything. Yeah! It's like, and they're talking about their sons. And it's like the first guy says, my son, best auto dealer in the entire Southeast area. He sits there, oh, you know this joke? So, sits there, sells 100 cars a day. In fact, he's such a successful auto salesman that he just gave a car to a friend of his. A brand new BMW. It's like, oh, and the other two guys are, oh, well, that's pretty impressive. Let's see here. Well, the second guy's like, well, my son, he's a travel agent. And he's an extremely successful travel agent. He sits there and he books 100 trips a day. You know, and in fact, he's such a successful travel agent. I mean, you could go He sits there, he books trips to London, to Japan, to Moscow, to every place, any place you want to go. He can take care of you. In fact, he's so successful that he just gave a round-the-world tour to a friend of his. You know, just free of charge, just because he could. And so the last guy was like, yeah, well, my son, he's an architect. He's built skyscrapers, he's built homes, he's built dams, he's built anything you could imagine. In fact, he's so successful that he just designed, constructed, and gave to a friend of his a house, free of charge, no problems. So yeah, the three guys are like, yeah, our son's completely successful, really awesome. They're high-fiving each other. All of a sudden, fourth guy walks in, and he's looking pretty despondent. He just walks in, or says, hey, bartender, shot of whiskey here. And the three guys are like, hey, man, why the long face? And he says, well, it's my son. And they're like, well, hey, we were just talking about our sons. Yeah, what's up with your son? And I said, well, my son, he just came out to me, and he's gay. The other three fathers like, your son's gay. And the father's like, well, I guess it's probably not so bad because he's got like 3 lovers, and the 3 of them collectively just gave him a car, a trip around the world, and a house. So.
All right. I got because I am drunk. So this is perfect. Okay. So there's this wife, and she's sitting at home, and she's, pacing back and forth. Where the fuck can my husband be? He has been gone for hours. I know he goes to the bar. What?
No, good, keep going.
Okay. I know he goes to the bar, and I know he drinks, but usually he's home by, 2 o'clock in the morning. It's already 3. What the hell is happening? So she's pacing around, and finally her drunk husband stumbles into the door. Just, hey, honey, how's it going? And she's like, Jesus Christ, where the fuck were you? And he goes, you're not going to believe this. I was at this bar, okay? And it was amazing. It was called, get this, the Golden Bar, right? And she's like, okay, yeah, that's great, honey, go to bed. And he's like, no, you don't understand. Everything in this bar is gold, okay? Everything is made of gold. Like, the tables are gold, the floor is gold, even the chairs are gold. And she's like, okay, yeah, that's great. Go to bed. You are drunk. He's like, no, you don't get it, okay? Everything in this bar is gold. Like, if you step up to the bar itself is gold. The taps are gold. Even the stools are gold. And she's like, that's great. Go to sleep. You are obviously shit-faced, hammered beyond belief. Go to sleep. You have work tomorrow. No, you don't get it. Everything in this bar is gold. Okay? You go into the bathroom, the counters are gold, the sinks are gold, even the toilets are gold. She's like, okay, that's great. Go to sleep. And he's like, all right, honey, I love you. And he goes to bed. Okay, so she's like pacing around for a while. She's like, there's no way he was actually at a golden bar. Like, this is ridiculous. There is no bar that is gold. So she's like, pacing around. She's like, fuck it. I'm going to look it up. So she goes to the phone book, starts flipping through. Lo and behold, finds the Golden Bar and the phone number. So she calls up the phone number. Golden Bar, ma'am, how may I help you? Yeah, just have a question. Is everything in your bar gold? Yes, ma'am, everything in this bar is gold. Are you telling me that your tables, chairs, and floor are gold? Yes, ma'am. So you're telling me that if you sit at the bar, the stools are gold, the taps are gold, and even the bar itself is gold? Yeah. So you're serious, like when you tell me that if you go into the bathroom, the sinks are gold, the stalls are gold, and even the toilets are gold? Ma'am, can you hang on a second? Hey, Harry, we found the guy who shit in your tuba.